this is Liquid Ocelot and welcome back. I'm back and it's February 2018. Already a month has passed and today I have brought you once again finals of a tournament that was played recently. It's none other than the For the Win tournament 52 organized by Gamereplays. And before I start the cast for the finals, I want to ask the community to please give donations to if you want to give donations to future tournaments, CNC tournaments, there are two PayPal emails in the description box. One is for Gamereplays administrator Methuselah and other is for CNC online division administrator on Gamereplays and cnconline.net application Toxic Shock. Now let's begin this cast. We had a very difficult and competitive semi-finals, and after taking out the players, we have two finalists, Dimon and Vindies. Both players are in extremely good form coming into the finals. The finals were delayed for a day and they decided to play it on maybe 2 days or 1 day, I have forgotten, but still we have finals over here. So let's start the match. Game number 1, we have, oh no, my mouse. We have Vindies, bottom right, on Infinity Isle, purple allies, and we have Dimon, yellow Soviets. So no Empire shenanigans from Dimon this time in the finals. Unlike in match number 3 to 5, he took Empire versus Deep Fantasy. A bit like technique did, mixing up factions, and this confused Deep Fantasy, who went on to lose that even though he was 2-0 up from Dimon. So Dimon is feeling very confident. Some good micro from Dimon. Is going to snipe the dog and is going to run away. Both players have taken their respective oil derricks, single barracks each. I'm going to hover the mouse very slowly now, not pressing right click, and Javelin Soldier. Now Vindies has a lot of experience versus Dimon. He understands that he will come for some harassment in the form of sickle and also some other harassment opportunity he'll try to take, and bullfrogs. That is why. But one thing I like about Vindies is that, look, he's not making overspending on this initial attack from Dimon. He's not overspending, and this is very good tactics. You see, he's not overspending. He has made bulk of the army in the form of Javelin soldiers, and I think he's going for a Riptide. So he's trying to make reliable units and not overspending, and he's already tier 2, so he's trying to go for some sort of cheese over there. Vindies is going to try to snipe this civilian structure altogether. Very good thinking from Vindies, very good. He didn't lose that much, but he exposed his Javelin soldiers. And these bears are scouting now. There is a scout from Vindies as well, War Factory. So somehow Vindies has somehow managed to keep his oil derrick, and he has got a lot of riptides. So this is also the same strategy which even Kohaji is making a lot of riptides versus Dimon. At start, Dimon has they don't let Dimon do the map control with a lot of infantry, and I think this is a very good strategy. Dimon is very good at abusing the conscript spam that he does. He's very good at that, and why wouldn't he? Conscript is the best unit in the game for Soviets, for any faction, because it's so cheap and you can spam 2 conscripts for 200. So everybody, he knows also how to use them properly. He doesn't overspend, and he's very good at that. Now we see 2 cryocopters. This is a very important attack from Vindies, and now we see MCV trying to harass this. You see what Dimon did? Dimon used the bullfrogs to snipe, and at the same time used MCV. So this confused Vindies. Vindies should have been much more smarter than that. He should just go back. I think this would be better that he just goes back. But he's trying to desperately make something out of here. He doesn't have that much cryocopter support. Now all of a sudden he has, but he has lost a lot of units. And at the same time, Dimon has 3 refineries and a lot of bullfrogs. So he was overcommitted to this attack, Vindies. These PKs with Mint's machine, these hammer tanks in shrink mode, but somehow the hammer tanks have went back to their original size, and this is a problem for Vindies. Vindies is only on 2 refineries and a couple of cryocopters, and all Dimon needs to do now is go for an airfield for himself. If he goes for airfield and some MiG fighters for defending himself, this means Dimon will easily defend himself and then create an opening to finish Vindies off. So a Vindicator trying to harass, trying to lure in. He has somehow seen this with Scout, with this bear. So let's see how Dimon thinks. Dimon has, you see, this vision. I think Vindies didn't hide this properly. You see an attack coming. And what is doing? Vindies, what's going on? Vindies has lost 2 Vindicators, 2 cryocopters. I can't believe it. And Vindicator as well. These bullfrogs have shredded all the air units for Vindies, and they are going to main base of Dimon. Dimon has beaten Vindies in game number 1, and I think it was all about ability of allies player to use better movements for attacking. I think he thought that was a very good attack, but I think that MCV micro, you have to give credit to Dimon for using MCV and crushing units and everything. Still, I think maybe an assault destroyer in the mix would have mixed things up a bit, and attack via the wing positions, the collectors, would have been much better. But still, very good game. Now let's go to game number 2. Try to find game number 2. Game number 2 coming up. It's Snowplow and Vindies, Purple Allies versus Dimon, Yellow Soviets both. Dimon is going for a barracks opening. Vindies on the other hand going for a power plant opening, which means he's going to go for an airfield. And this and industrial strength is a powerful airfield opener map. Even Fire Island is a powerful airfield opener map, but most players don't go airfield opening on Fire Island. Still, it is a option available, and Vindies has gone for refinery opening, a bit like UE, and he has mixed his build order. But UE makes 2 refineries and then he makes for airfield. He's just mixes build order. One thing Dimon has done, you see, Dimon is very smart. He's not someone who looks very. He looks very naive and like a mug, or as if he knows nothing. But he's very smart. You see, he didn't overspend. He just sent a couple of conscripts in this civilian structure here. Didn't overspend, and then immediately he went for bullfrogs, fast for factory. No engineers, because he knows that he needs to get these vindicators will forbid those engineers from going inside those oil derricks, and immediately after second power plant he'll go for a third refinery. Vindies, on the other hand, moving his MCV forward, he has a couple of vindicators, and it seems that he will try to go for an MCV push. And Vindies is concerned about the civilian structures. These are important structures for Vindies, and a terror drone must be coming. He has placed it MCV. You must have seen the map, green color map that comes before you press F button, the option on which dimensions you want to place your structure at, and he placed it vertically, the MCV. So very good thinking from Vindies, and these riptides also coming into the mix. Couple of vindicators. What you see, one other thing I'm so impressed from him, he always makes the exact number of required units for countering something. He doesn't overspend. This is the difference between pros and mid players, that they don't overspend. You see, he knows there are 2 vindicators, so he just spent on 3 bullfrogs and not 4 or 5 bullfrogs. So now Dimon has placed his MCV also. He is on 3 refineries, and an eminent MCV push from Vindies. A barracks and a turret. Now this turret is here to protect these javelin soldiers from yes, 1 power plant sniped, 3 javelin soldiers, and Vindies is very smart. He knows he will take out these power plants as quickly as possible. He will take out these power plants as quickly as possible. And another another turret, 4 sickles, and Vindies knows that you see, okay, fine, this attack is good, but defense also needs some thought process from Vindies. So Vindies has positioned his units anticipating an attack from Dimon, the sickle attack. This is exactly a third. So Vindies is on 3 refineries and a lot of sickles, so many sickles. You see, Dimon deliberately made like 5 sickles, and he has his own MCV push. But since there is no Tesla coil in the mix, no Tesla coil and low power mode, Dimon is really having a difficult time defending himself in his own MCV push, and Vindies is going to take out this MCV all of a sudden. He's going to take it out, and this game all of a sudden is over. Vindies has taken out this game, and game number 2 goes to Vindies. So 1 apiece. Great mind games, both players trying to make exact counters for units and stuff. I think Dimon shouldn't have done MCV push and should have somehow managed to go tier 2. I think going for dual power plant build was a mistake. Hammer tanks, I have seen Dimon defend himself better with super reactor build. But let's see game number 3 what happens. It's on home of Vindies, Cabana Republic. Vindies allies on the left hand side, and on the right hand side Dimon, and we have a barracks opening from Dimon. No crusher crane, he never ever goes crusher crane versus allies. Very smart. Dog span from Vindies. Just want to see one thing, what Vindies, I think, where is the engineer? Yes, engineer. This route that I have always talked about, this is the best route. So very good anti-scouting from Vindies. He's going to scout this area, and Dimon usually doesn't take this route, but Vindies, you see, he's expecting Dimon to bring engineer from this side. So he's anti-scouting and also forbidding Dimon to go for his oil derrick. Vindies spamming javelin soldiers and engineer waiting for his riptides to pump out. And a bear has come already. So as soon as he comes, brings out a dog outside his boot camp, he presses F as soon as possible, even though Dimon snipes it, but he somehow saves his units over here. Very good thinking from Vindies, very good micro, and these little things are very important. So now Vindies gone with all the javelin soldier and an engineer inside that riptide. One engineer will go inside oil derrick. In the meanwhile, Dimon has captured both oil derricks, and let's see his build order this time. Single power plant, no walling his refineries, and let's see where his MCV is. I'm sorry, I'm using right click. His MCV is top side. So a dog is trying to block his refinery position, so Dimon doesn't have any units to clear it out, and he's going to make a diagonal refinery. So it's going to delay his refining a bit, but Dimon is desperate. 3 sickles. See, good micro from Dimon, trying to protect his sickles and attacking and going back, hit and attack runs, and trying to amass a composition enough to harass and targeting the javelin soldiers first. So very good micro decision making from Dimon. Impressive stuff from Dimon, and only one riptide remains, so he's probably going to run away. A terror drone abusing the power of running on water. The pace of the terror drone goes multiplied by 200% in water. It goes so fast. And now we see riptides and cryocopter. See this build order. He's trying to find a way to harass Dimon, and somehow why isn't Dimon? Yes, snipe that collector, but Dimon didn't build that wall up once again. I think he was thinking, even if he makes that wall once again, inside the riptides will still snipe it, because while making the wall they can still snipe it. So he thought he shouldn't waste time, and some good harassment from Vindies, not losing a lot of units at all, and sniping a couple of bullfrogs and a collector for Dimon. He He's going to come back, snipe this collector. He's going to sacrifice some units for this. Desperate to find a way. And once again, Dimon is not making the walls again. He's trying to use. He has sniped that collector. And a lot of damage done by Vindies with that Riptide and Cryocopter combination. Battle marker over here. Dimon is trying to remake his old collectors, and he's even sold his power plant because he is low on cash. 3 bullfrogs, 2 hammer tanks, 3 Vindies for Vindies on extremely good, in extremely good shape. Dimon is using, you see, he's bringing those tanks as close as possible to the civilian structure so that all the attack by default goes towards these tanks and not the valuable conscripts. So you see, he's protecting his conscripts very well. These are small things that I'm explaining, and these are very important for somebody learning this game. And now Vindies, I think he has used a Cryogeddon on that collector and sniped it with a single peacekeeper, and he's abusing the close proximity advantage that a peacekeeper has because Dimon didn't wall his refinery up. So there's a lot of engagement going on. One Cryocopter, but what Dimon has done, you see this initial attack, he has forced Vindies to make a multi-gunner turret. He has forced Vindies to make a multi-gunner turret once again. He has forced him to overspend and force him to defend himself. So this is very good thinking from Dimon. This attack seems very good. And Vindicator, if it lands over here, it's shish kebab, because this he should have taken ability of that. Should have taken ability of that bullfrog. That bullfrog, and these conscripts should attack these Vindicators. Very good. Finally has been sniped by this conscript. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, that these conscripts are extremely dangerous and cost effective, and look how well Dimon uses these conscripts. But Vindies is now on 3 refineries, and so is Dimon. I think Dimon sold his MCV. I don't know how. He's very aggressive, and he's trying to do something in this game. Very good game at the moment. A vicious attack from Vindies with 3 Riptides. Dimon sees this, and as soon as he sees, he will create some hammer tanks to smother this attack down. He's delaying this attack. Look, good tactics from Dimon. Very intelligent tactics, and he's trying to delay this attack as much as possible. Helicopters trying to. These Riptides are a pain for Dimon. It's very difficult for him versus these Riptides, but he has managed to take out 3 Riptides. But there is another issue now. There is another issue. I think that Vindies will go tier 3, and he's going to go for carriers. This is his home map. Vindies is extremely dangerous on Cabana Republic, and he has beaten Zokar also earlier on Cabana. I think one of the games was played on Cabana. I don't recall, but if I think they do a best of 5 on Cabana, Zokar versus Vindies, Vindies will have a better chance of winning. So Joker used to be one of the best Cabana Republic players in the history of the game. He used to be extremely good player, but he is back after a long break, and he doesn't play that much. So MCV rebuilt from the moon, and like I forecasted, like I said, he'll go tier 3, and we have aircraft carriers on the map. We have them, and they are going directly towards base of Dimon, and also I think mixed with a couple of dolphins, just in case those meddling terror drones they try to harass. So he's going for a hydrofoil instead. But Vindies, I don't know how he knew that Dimon has made an airfield. I don't know. I think he scouted him. He doesn't have an Apollo fighter. He's a Riptide scouting this sea refinery area, and his Vindicators are going to try to bombard Dimon's MCV, and this refinery is going to be sniped. So actually this Akula sub is very expensive unit, and the best strategy to counter this this harassment is stasis ray from terror drone. It is cheap and it's very effective, and the next best strategy is to make Natasha and kill the driver. That is the next best strategy. So I said next best because it's extremely expensive to make a Natasha. We have to go Battle Lab for 2000 and 2000 for Natasha. So mind games going on. Dimon trying. He doesn't have 2 oil derricks even. He needs that second oil derrick. I think personally he needs that second oil derrick desperately. And Dimon positioning his bullfrogs, trying to scout with these big fighters. Javelin soldiers in position for Vindies, and battle marker over here. So a second refinery has been sniped by Dimon, by Vindies, sorry, pardon me. And Dimon is going to snipe down this collector as well, but I think Vindies, you see, is not overspending. He doesn't care if his units are being destroyed. He's just going to amass some javelin soldiers, or maybe abuse this aircraft carrier to snipe all of these bullfrogs, and then go Apollo fighters. He's got so many options, and cheap options. So these this assault destroyer and javelin combo has sniped down war factory of Dimon, desperate to destroy this collector before it's being crushed in the crusher crane. Just on 2 oil derricks, 2 bullfrogs sniped, and only 1 Vindicator sniped by Vindies. One thing Dimon has done, he has a couple of MiG fighters. He's going to wait till Vindies remake those collectors, and then he's going to attack them. Use the orbital block. Dimon is only on 2 oil derricks at the moment. Just going to move away this collector. No bullfrogs into the mix at the moment, so I think those javelin soldiers earlier from in the piece, and this assault destroyer are coming back to the base of Dimon, and Vindies is going to snipe this bullfrog, and these two Apollo fighters can easily win a dog fight any day versus these mech fighters any day. It's time to go for a flank cannon. Away it 3 refineries and 1 refinery, 2 oil derricks, and chronosphere is also activated. I'm sorry I didn't see this coming from Vindies. Always makes good use of super weapons. Game is over. That's why I was forwarding. Game is over. So a very good engagement, but I knew well beforehand that this map Vindies plays always very nicely, and also this map Fire Island. I don't understand why Dimon would choose Fire Island to play versus Vindies. Fire Island is a hell place for Soviets versus Allies. It's the best map for Allies player. Best map for Allies players. And the barracks opening straight away from Vindies. We have yellow Dimon on top side. Going for a barracks opening as well. So there will be some infantry wars at the start of the game. Just on the right hand side we see Vindies trying to capture his side of the oil derrick successfully. Look, he has escorted his engineer with a couple of peacekeepers and no dogs, so I think he was pretty confident that if a bear comes along eventually he will kill it with these peacekeepers, but one bear requires 3 shotgun shots to be sniped. So I don't think it was a good idea. This is good idea versus Allies, not versus Soviets. So a mistake, I believe, tactical mistake from Vindies. Bears coming from the left hand side, trying to scout. Once again same build from Vindies, relying on those riptides as much as possible, and Dimon is desperate to get them before they go inside the riptide, and you see good awareness from Vindies, making a wall segment to delay that attack from Dimon. Mind games, every little things are so important in this game for these players. This shows how important this tournament is for both of these players. Both of these players are hungry to win for the win tournament number 52, desperate to win it. They are desperate. They are hungry. They are hungry to win this tournament. And a beautiful shot. 4 conscripts sniping a riptide. What a good scene that was. 2 oil derricks captured by Dimon. And Dimon going for a airfield, and he is on super reactor. So no more 2 power plant builds from Dimon. He knows and understands how important it is that Vindies can go for MCV pushes. He knows and understands this a lot. So one of the oil derrick Vindies will recapture. He has a scouting unit. It's going to scout, but 3 riptides, I don't think Dimon has enough. Can micro that much. He should have protected his terror drone. And 4 riptides going towards base of Dimon. Some of them has some javelin soldiers inside, so these mech fighters wary of this. Very good attack, and I think if Vindies somehow manages to pull this attack off, but which he didn't, he lost. I think that was a bug or something, because he drove on top of that riptide with javelins inside, but the javelins somehow survive. Either he pressed F just in the nick of time. Riptide attack. This attack was failed on game number 1 on Infinity Isle, and also on this game, game number 4, this attack has been smothered by Dimon. So Dimon very good at defending at these riptide attacks, especially if he knows that it's coming, and Dimon's oil derrick has been sniped. One thing Vindies has done though is that he has forbidden Dimon any freedom to play the game freely. He's not on the 3rd refinery position. So this MiG fighter will easily snipe out this cryocopter. Vindies, on the other hand, I can say that he can easily expand from this position onwards. And now the move is coming for this oil derrick. So very intense game this. I think Dimon was trying to recapture this oil derrick, but since Vindies has riptides and he can easily put an engineer inside and recapture it, he's not willing to do this kind of stuff. This attack seems vicious. You see what Dimon is doing? He's making him think. He's making him think which side he should attack, and as soon as that barracks was created, boot camp, Dimon sniped it down with a orbital drop. So that it's in lots and lots of trouble. Vindies, lots and lots of trouble, because he lost an Apollo fighter and a cryocopter, and he is on 3 refineries now. So I think Vindies will be a collector sniped by Dimon. Dimon is trying to desperately harass Vindies. Doable things. He's doing doable things and little small attacks which are very effective. You see, he destroyed this refinery collector, core collector, and he's now going to harass C collector as well. So good attacking game from Dimon. Very good game. This collector as well, and we have elite twin plate on our hands. Vindies amassing Apollo fighter, so many MiG fighters that he cannot afford. See, yes, so he's forced on one collector only. So another elite bar for Dimon. This Apollo fighter was destroyed. Vindies is struggling at the moment, and he has thrown in the towel. So game number 4, shockingly, this was a really big upset, because I thought Vindies is going to grab this game from the neck. This is an allies map, but somehow Dimon played really well. And now another allies map, and this time a very good choice from Vindies, taking industrial strength in game number 5 coming up. Vindies down bottom on industrial strength, purple allies, and Dimon top Soviets on industrial strength. Dual barracks opening from Dimon. This is very good tactics from Dimon. And Vindies, I think what this dual barracks opening from Dimon will do at least is that he's going to forbid Vindies from going for that riptide openings or war factory openings. fast for factory openings, going for garage in the middle. Dog spam from Vindies. And Vindies making a lot of station dogs. And he's struggling, to be honest, with the micro of these dogs. Have been sniped by this one conscript. This conscript gives so much damage to Vindies that the map control and also some barks are not going far enough for these bears to get stunned. Conscript bears combo, very good. So couple of one oil derrick already Dimon got. The second oil derrick Dimon will easily get. All he has to do, yes, dog not going near, so has map control. And Vindies has gone for a airfield, late airfield in the game. Dimon, let's see if he's gone for dual power plant. Yes, he's gone for dual power plant. This means that Vindies has opportunity. He can easily go for MCV push now. Yes, he can go for. Usually, I think Dimon was forced to go for a second power plant because, in a way, this power plant. See, somehow, Vindies saved his MCV from that terror drone. Extremely crucial save from Vindies. And I think this is one of the most important saves, because I don't know why Dimon didn't micro good enough to capture this terror drone, this MCV over here. He just made a terrible micro mistake. I blame Dimon for this. Now very good turret placement from Vindies. This will help him as go towards. Yes, see that terror drone was typed. This is for two reasons. Even if a terror drone goes inside the MCV, the engineer inside this terror drone can heal the MCV, and he has stopped Dimon from making our third refinery. Dimon is going for his MCV push. I don't know what Dimon is doing. So we are going to see turret spam and base crawling, airfield base crawling from Vindies. And this game seems to be going in a direction I don't understand why Dimon didn't. That first opportunity, I knew that Vindies will somehow make this airfield push work somehow. Because hammer tanks, they are really good at countering these MCV pushes. Because these flank troopers are so expensive in close range engagements, it's always going to be difficult for them to be used properly. Vindies has made a third refinery, while Dimon is only on one refinery at the moment, and that refinery will easily be sniped by these close proximity airfield. So Dimon also trying to make the refinery, and Vindies can easily capture this garage. I think Dimon has done is that using his flame troopers, he can easily destroy these two refineries. Vindies trying to snipe this couple of these flag troopers, and Dimon not paying attention to it at all. This sickle will be sniped by those two indicators. So, both players will be on equal refineries and equal power plant sniped from Dimon. And has gone for a refinery. Sickles are trying to do something. They're not very strong units, are they? Versus these turrets, they are always going to struggle really hard. Turrets, the splash damage, I'm worried about the splash damage. It would be a very funny scene that Vindies destroys his own collector. Destroys his own collector with his own turret. That would be a very funny scene. That would be close proximity splash damage from that turret attacks. Already Vindies' collector is on low health, but one thing Vindy has done, he has 2 refineries. See if the health is going down. He's slowing down the ore resource yielding ability of Dimon, of Vindies. Desperately. You see the health is going down. You see? Very good abuse of close proximity attack from Vindies. The abuse from Dimon was very good. The placement of that collector has, I think, somehow brought back Dimon into this match. This was very good from Dimon. And he has a lot of bullfrogs. Dimon is all of a sudden on 3 refineries and an oil derrick. He's in a very good position, but these javelin soldiers and these civilian structures always will be in he will be in advantage. He has map control, I will give you that. I think Dimon should snipe all of these walls, because this is letting Vindies scout this whole map, and he is in position once again to do an MCV airfield push. Flank troopers, but no terror drone nearby. I think this was a mistake from Dimon, very big mistake. No terror drone, 4 flank troopers and a terror drone would have sniped down everything. It's going to run away. So hit and run tactics from Dimon, making him forcing Vindies to make a lot of turrets, making him overspend as much as possible. Whole of his base is covered with lots and lots of somehow he will run away. He will run away with these 3 one Vindicator sniped, but 2 bullfrogs sniped from Vindies. Vindies has gone for a 3rd refinery, and Dimon on the other hand will try to go for a refinery in C. I think in a way Dimon has played really well. I'm really impressed on how he has played in this game. This is not an easy map for Soviets at all. One thing that Dimon has done is that he has somehow managed to keep himself alive in this game, and Javelin is trying to snipe this refinery from the hill area. Something needs to go for Vindies. This is the opening Vindies is looking for. He should have done a base crawl maneuver just to remake refinery later on, but Dimon is on 4 refineries, but so is Vindies. Vindies is on 5 refineries, 2 oil derricks. He is on extremely dangerous proximity. I think Vindies also has the garage at the moment, and Vindies is just dominating all of a sudden. He's dominating, but I think what changed was that refined his snipe, and that failed attack from Dimon. I think he should have had the whole game over there. He should have sniped down Vindies MCV, easily sniped down his MCV. I think that was a big mistake from Dimon, because he spent a lot on that attack, a lot on that attack. He's got so much cash. He must be floating so much cash. As I know and understand how Vindies think, he's going to go for those carriers and trying to long range Dimon out of this game. He's going to long range him out of this match. He's going to abuse tier 3 and long range him out of this game. One mistake also Dimon did. Even if he lost refinery, that's fine, but he should have base crawled with a power plant or a barracks over here in this area to remake refinery. So flank troopers thrown into the mix and into the den of vipers. What are you doing, Dimon? Losing those flank troopers for nothing. One thing Dimon has is he has that garage once again with him, and this garage is been sniped by Vindies. It's been sniped by Vindies. So he has taken out the only advantage Dimon had, and this game seems to be running out of time, and this is what happens in late part of the game. The allies player will dominate with cryogeddons, will dominate the game. And once these bullfrogs are sniped, now Dimon knew that one of the peacekeeper was star status, but he still used the stun maneuver. Oil derrick from Dimon sniped. I think some Riptides trying to attack Dimon's collectors. One collector has already been sniped. One is on 20% health. That Tesla coil was also sniped. Battle markers. Let's see some battle markers. See how much effort he has made and how much behind he is in this match after losing that 5th refinery. This carrier was sniped by these 2 Akula subs, and Dimon trying to harass, trying to snipe these power plants. Apollo fighters come into the mix and they try to lure that attack away from this crucial area. Apollo fighters once again, but 4 MiG fighters, very good micro engagement over here, and because he has 4 MiG fighters, harassing and harassing, this requires very good micro and control, because controlling and positioning these aerial units is very difficult art. Dimon once again, he has used the whole position micro, hold ground stance, that goes within range proximity, will not move or engage. Yes, this is very good micro from Dimon. and he's amassing 4. Um, I think in order to counter this Akula sub spam from Dimon, I think Vindies need either assault destroyers, yes, but also a couple of cryocopters will easily snipe these Akula's advantage. But what Dimon can do is he can long range missile those secondary ability missile of torpedoes of Akula subs. You can easily snipe one unit at least, or maybe take 50% health, I don't know. Tier 3 um, units on the ground for Vindies. See this engagement, I forwarded it and he's retreating. Forwarded it. Satina cannons come out. It's always going to be difficult for Soviet player. It's always going to be difficult for Soviet player because he has mixed this Athena cannon army with these Mirage tanks, and Dimon must be wary that this might become a base trade, sort of a base trade. And once again Dimon was lazy enough not to snipe these walls. One thing destroying these walls is that they will affect your refinery, splash damage, and the chronosphere is also out for Vindies. I don't know why Dimon isn't moving his NC. In C also there is a lot of problems for Dimon. Tanya sniping everything out. This game is over now. Tanya has been used very effectively by Vindies. I think even without Tanya this game was over. That's why I have been forwarding it, to be honest. Because Dimon just wants to see where his mistake is, I think. He's trying to find mistakes. I'll forward this game because it's surely it's going to be time waste and we need to complete this game somehow. There is no way Vindies can lose this match. It is done and dusted. Dimon has given up. So very good game. I think Dimon made some very good plays, but well played to Vindies. And as this is Allies map, now game number 6 and game number 7. So game number 1 went to Dimon, game number 2 went to Vindies, game number 3 went to Vindies, game number 4 and game number 5. Game number 4 went to Vindies, game number 2 went to Vindies, game number 3 went to Vindies, game number 4 went to Dimon, game number 5 went to Vindies. So Vindies is 3-2 up in the series. We are going ahead to Battle Base Beta, one of favorites maps of Vindies, because Vindies likes this map also a lot. He likes this map, he likes playing on bigger maps. Dual barracks opening from Dimon and then sending both of these barracks single refinery push, not zero refinery push from Vindies to the middle. So he has anti-scouted pretty well over here, just disguising his rush. Good thinking, smart thinking from Dimon, trying to snipe out this civilian structure. Very good, smart thinking. War factory will be out in no time. He sees the MCV. Sickle out on the battlefield. Turret, just spending on turret. He's not spending on anything else, just the turret. And what Vindies should do is maybe capture this oil derrick because he is on one refinery. Once again we are seeing Dimon going for a power plant build and not going for super reactor. This is a big problem for Dimon, to be honest. He was quite late for F-microing, shielding his cargo. Stunners will easily Sickles on very low health. And it's putting his MCB down. Vindies sold one of his power plants. And what's going on? Sickle is trying to harass this ore collector. See what Vindies is doing? He's destroying the walls. He has arcade micro his turrets. One thing cavalry is here for Dimon, so a couple of sickles more, and he's going to try to take out this ore collector from Vindies. Vindies has sold his refinery and he has made one in base of Dimon. So good economic management from Vindies. Dimon also has one refinery. Vindies also has one refinery with him. But I don't understand. Yes, this is exactly what I was referring to, that Vindies should capture Dimon's oil derrick. So with this oil derrick, the economic advantage goes to Vindies because he has 2 oil derricks. This power plant has been sniped and Vindies is on extreme low power, so this is a big problem for Vindies. But Vindies is about to remake the power plant, but look at the awareness of Vindies, the spontaneity levels. He's just remaking collector because he knows and understands that his collector would be in danger, and the whole position micro once again from Dimon. Trying to heal his collector. Dimon capturing oil derrick, and I thought maybe he would send something to desperate to. I think the man will easily capture this finding this airfield. Put all micro from Vindies. Said it at the last moment, I think so. Engineer is really bugging Vindies, really giving him tension. So a refinery forced to sell forced to be sold by Dimon. Very good thinking, very smart thinking, and good micro from Dimon. Dimon, with this maneuver, just like in previous game, he has brought himself back into this match. Amazing play from Dimon. Vindies has remade his refinery, and Vindies understand that Dimon went to the refinery positions of Vindies. This game is extremely crucial for both players, and I think this game is dominating. Dimon is sort of like dominating. And what's going on? Yippee-yi! Jeez, oh no, my god, what's happened? Dimon has captured Vindies MCV with that engineer, and Vindies has been defeated. So the game has tilted towards the series is all square apiece. 3-3 to both players, and we are heading into Temple Prime, the final match of the For the Win tournament 52, and we're going to play on Temple Prime. On the left hand side we have Vindies, allies, purple allies, and as usual yellow Soviets from Dimon. Barracks opening, not dual barracks, single barracks from Vindies. Trying to do map control, and this dog spam is for real. Very good dog spam. Forbidding map control from poor Dimon. No. Dimon is forced to overspend. I think he shouldn't spend at all on bears. He should just focus on a terror drone instead. Yes, exactly, that is what Dimon has done. But Dimon made 4 bears, and this is exactly what Vindies wanted. He wanted Dimon to spend as much as possible. And see this defense from Vindies. Spending on units that are required. Spending on important units. Vindies going for Riptide. This is the final match and the most important match, and both players are so hungry. They are desperate to win this tournament. They are hungry and they want to win this tournament pretty badly. I think Dimon is going for a second power plant once again. I don't understand this strategy from Dimon. Dimon has always been very good when he goes for a super reactor, and hammer tanks on this map is very deadly versus allies. But he has gone for a dual power plant. I don't like this. Somehow I don't like this build order from Dimon. I don't approve of it, even though it's effective economically, but versus a particular type of player like Vindies, it's not going to work well for you, as he likes making riptides and he likes going for MCV pushes. Both encourage you to go for hammer tanks, to be honest. These sickles are very expensive. They are a good counter to riptides and infantry, but they are not as good as hammer tanks. is MCV of Vindies. Yes, he's staying in his base, not moving. I'm going to go for helicopter. He's going to capture, destroy this oil derrick. Yes, not capture it, destroy it. Sometimes destroying an enemy oil derrick is also a good idea, especially if you cannot bother to recapture it over and over again, and if it's someone like, especially like Dimon, because he likes to remake, just abuse the bullfrogs to use the jump micro. So what Dimon has, he doesn't have enough bullfrogs at the moment, and he needs bullfrogs desperately. He's going for sickles instead, and this would be a very, very bad move in there, to be honest with you. The sickles are there. Vindies, to be honest, has done this similar attack many times. Many times before he has done. One thing Vindies has done this game, this match, particularly well, is he has forced Dimon to be on 2 refineries. Dimon doesn't have oil derrick as well, and this attack was very successful in a way because he destroyed collector of Dimon. So very good attack from Vindies, and he's on 3 refineries. Even if these sickles come and try to harass Dimon, they will easily be sniped from those protective civilian structure bunkers by Vindies. 3 Javelin soldiers by Vindies selling the power plant. Trying to find an open between Vindies. Dimon doesn't even have I think he's going to sell some units. He has so many sickles. He's trying to either heal or sell some units. Just to get some sort of power, just to get some, just to go for. Oh yeah, yes, he has done it. So Vindies sniping a collector once again, good harassment. Dimon going for an MCV push. He can easily win this game right here, right now, by just crushing MCV of Dimon with his MCV. But he's not going to take this risk because of those terror drones. That will be an extremely risky move for Vindies. Trying to take out as much of health from Dimon's MCV as possible. And the hammer tanks makes all the difference. Easily countered these riptides, almost sniping MCV of Dimon. Almost. I think he's going to go for sniping out. He should go back and just snipe out this MCV. I think he has an opportunity, but I don't think so that he will be able to. Maybe some splash damage or this. Yes. Very low ability, of MCV left, and now he's going to try to camp it nearby. Yes, he's crushed it. He's not taking any chances. Dimon has crushed his MCV. He has forced to crush it, and I think that wasn't a good move from Dimon. He needed those protocols, those orbital drops and those protocols to try to do some damage to Vindies. Vindies is on 3 refineries for a very long time now, and he is on a very dangerous position, and Dimon needed his MCV for expanding and stuff. You make an airfield and you go for airfield units. Airfield units are very expensive. Don't think that he has that much kind of money or resources to just go and crush his MCV. He's just going for war factory, and I think this is better move from Dimon, not going for airfield. Airfield is very expensive. He needs to do something. Dimon has played really well in this series, and he needs to show some fight and some spirit. And to be honest, this is a Soviet's map. Very strange that Dimon is struggling on this map, to be honest. This is a Soviet's map. See how important that one bear was for Vindies, trying to anti-scout as much as possible, because he realizes, okay, he is in a commanding position, but he also knows that an engineer can grab his MCV or a terror drone mixed up, or flat trooper drops. You never know when Dimon can make things happen. He is a very dangerous player, Dimon. Collector sniped by Vindies, and his Vindicator was sniped, but this collector was sniped, and that is very important for the production has stopped all of a sudden. This collector will be rebuilt in so long time. Dimon desperate to find some map awareness, see what's going on. I think if Vindies camp and go, yes, he's doing exactly that, camping, going tier 3. Dimon understands that there is a 3rd refinery in C, 4th refinery in C. So I didn't realize that Dimon had a refinery in C as well. I didn't realize this. Oil derricks are very important in Red Alert 3, more important than spikes in Kane's Wrath. People don't care about spikes that much unless the games are very long. And now we see Century bombers attacking. Look some shaky camera from me. Shaky camera. Good director skills from me somehow. As first Dimon lose this game number 7, so let me do a bit of analysis of this final match. I think that attack from Vindies when he went for 5 Riptides and a couple of cryocopters, I know Dimon was desperate for that 3rd refinery after that 2 power plant built, but still he should have gone for a super reactor. I think if a player is going mass Riptides, the best method to counter it with bullfrog and hammer tanks, terror drone, but he didn't go for hammer tanks, and I think this has been the feature of this series. Whenever Dimon has went for that build order with hammer tanks and bullfrogs and terror drones, he's always dominated, found a way, except for the game on Battle Base Beta. That also Vindies didn't camp that much, he went for MCV push. So I think this is one of the reasons for Dimon's losing this finals, but very well played, and congratulations to Vindies. You cannot take anything away from that. He played really well, and I hope you liked and enjoyed this series. Please leave a like, subscribe and comment. Do comment and share this video with your friends and spread the word about it. Talk in the comment section, because I'm not getting much comments and views on the Red Alert 3 videos that I'm making. I'm getting more views on Kane's Wrath, so it's a bit of a discouragement for me, but still I'll try to improve. Please leave your feedback, and also I'll be signing off. Take care.